It's not as if we don't have these documents, and this is why I'm seeing dishonesty on the part of the ministry. It's just that I don't want to be accused of getting this document from elsewhere, and then when I read things in here, he says, this is not our document. We have these documents. But it is the responsibility of the ministry to table under oath. And if there are challenges, like the excuses that we have had today are totally unacceptable. We can't be told, oh, the matter is in court, oh, we want to know what difficulty has the ministry had from the 6th of August, when they received this letter, to today. What is the challenge? Where's the challenge?
We sit in this house because we have powers of the High Court. This is a court. I hope you understand that. And we summoned you, and there was a request by the chair and the clerk to ask you to provide us, particularly me, with these documents, which then will make me ask intelligible or reasonable questions about the issues we are talking about. We are not discussing about sanitization of the matter in court. What we are saying is this House has a responsibility to tell Kenyans exactly the questions I asked you.
I wanted to know if the CS is trying to imply that if there's a request that comes from Parliament and another that comes, say, from the judiciary or the executive, you can choose which one to send documents to and which one you cannot. Is that what you're saying, CS, that we should all now follow you to court and pick those documents from there?
We expect you to do better than CS Murkomen. So you should start at the right footing. Don't start the way Murkomen used to mess all of us, Mr. Chair. Chair, I submit.
Thank you very much. I think we'll just go straight to the agenda of today, which is an agenda of national interest. And just to give you a very quick background of why we are here, for the benefit of the CS and those who have just joined us, is that on 25th of July, a statement was requested by Senator Richard Onyonka regarding the leasing of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport to a private company. And in that statement, the senator wanted to know, or wanted the CS Transportation, Bwana Davis Chirchir, to confirm whether Kenya Airports Authority has entered into an agreement with Adani Commercial Limited to lease out JKIA under BOT, that is Build, Operate, Transfer model. And so, if so, state the terms of this agreement. The statement also wanted the CS to provide the contract documents of this agreement and indicate the ownership of Adani Commercial Limited. Also, the statement required the CS to state whether a tendering process was conducted and also disclose details of the award of the contract, the number of bids received, the criteria used in selecting the company awarded, as well as the cost of the award. The statement also required the CS to provide details of the contract between Kenya Airways Authority, Kenya Airports Authority, and also ALG, that is a Spanish company, the transaction advisor, indicating the ownership of the company, the process undertaken to identify and award the contract, to develop an air transport policy in Kenya, and the subsequent payment of Kenya shillings 160 million to this company. The statement also required the CS to provide or submit notices of meetings, agenda, minutes, and resolution of the Kenya Airports Authority board meetings of 15th July 2024. And lastly, the statement required the CS to state whether the government plans to avail free land to the company known as Adani Commercial Limited to build a city-side development on public land, which may lead to land disputes in areas surrounding JKIA. Members, if you recall, at the sitting held on Thursday 1st, August 2024, the committee considered this statement, and we added more questions to this statement. And very briefly, was now for the CS to provide a copy of the privately initiated proposal and the contract document between Adani Commercial Limited and Kenya Airports Authority, give a detailed description of the proposed project, including references or reference designs, sketches, and alignment maps, explain the present stage of the privately initiated proposal, explain the process that was followed in arriving at the decision to award the privately initiated proposal to Adani Commercial Limited. Number 5, state the fate of employees of JKIA after Adani Commercial Limited takes over. State the other companies that presented their privately initiated proposals on the project. Clarify whether due diligence was carried out on all the companies that submitted a privately initiated proposal on the project. Provide profile for Adani Commercial Limited and details of directors. Provide copies of minutes of the boards of directors of the Kenya Airports Authority, whether the privately initiated proposal was discussed. Provide the total value of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Moi International Airport, Eldoret International Airport, and Kisumu International Airport. State the revenue generated by Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, indicating the specific revenue streams. Clarify whether other airports and airstrips in the country are part of the privately initiated proposal. And lastly, clarify whether public participation was carried out, and if not, at what stage it would be undertaken. Now, members, with all these questions, among others that maybe you have, and the public who are following us online will be having, I think it's better to mention that on the 6th of August, the committee requested for the response to the statement from the Prime Cabinet Secretary. If you remember very well, members, that is before the current CS. And I should take this opportunity to congratulate you because you haven't appeared before this committee since you are sworn in. So I congratulate you for your being sworn in as the CS for Roads and Transportation. So on 6th August, we had invited the Prime Cabinet Secretary, that is Musalia Mudavadi, to appear and shed light on all these questions that we have requested. But the department got a new CS before the due date. So the new CS requested more times, 3 weeks, so that he can get to understand the scenario. And was supposed to appear before this committee on 4th of September. Again, there was an engagement in China that the president and the department was involved. So again, we were requested to reschedule. And then we rescheduled to today. That is 12th of September 2025. So that is where we are at the moment. And I think I should just begin by requesting the CS and his team to first of all submit any response that is in written form, because we haven't received any at the moment. So if you have any, this is the time to submit that information. Then members can discuss on the issue.
Point of order, Chair.
Yes, Senator.
In my view, given the sort of public interest in this matter, I would want that we proceed under, I think it's Article 125, that before the CS tables anything, he be put under oath, because we are going to have extremely serious conversations, and I have dealt with him at the Committee of Energy. I know him to be a forthright person, but this is out of abundance of caution. Honorable CS will understand why I would insist that any evidence that is tabled here, whether written or oral, be under oath.
Chair,
Yes, Senator Onyonka.
I would like to support Honorable SG's position on this matter because of the relevance and the weightiness of this, and because this is a very deep public issue.
Can I add?
Yes, Senator Chirchir.
Chair, reading Article 125 and also our standing orders, I think I agree with Senator Sifuna that since this matter has attracted the interest of the country and across the globe, to ensure that anything the CS and table should be meet the threshold of truthfulness, but absolute truth. So I think he should take an oath, and any person who shall, maybe including KMD and the PS, people who will testify before this committee, Chair, so that in future the presentation and submission will be exact. And finally, Chair, you sit in PIC, and as a tradition of witnesses who appear before the Senate, you sit in PIC, and the tradition, even witnesses who appear at any given time, Parliament has used that tradition and precedent for taking oath to ensure that the witness appearing before it takes it with the seriousness it deserves. I'm not casting aspersions that without the oath they don't take it serious, but with abundance of caution, I think the CS and anybody who will testify to take an oath, then we proceed. I thank you, Chair.
I think the CS oath is still fresh. You know, I just took oath the other day.
Chair, with due respect, the oath that we are discussing is not the oath of office. It is an oath before God and the people of Kenya to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. And there are consequences of taking that oath, because if you perjure yourself, if any information that is provided when you're under oath turns out to be false, there are consequences, legal consequences.
Chair.
So because I made the intervention, Chair,
Yes.
let me be clear about the oath that I wanted him to take. I am not swearing him into office. He's already in office. I want him to swear to tell the truth in accordance with Article 125 as a witness before this committee.
Chair,
Senator Chute, yes.
was it, you're referring to the oath you took at State House? Was it a joke or you are very serious?
No, I just wanted the senator to clarify, because you see, somebody at home would be asking themselves what kind of oath we are talking about. But I do understand. So the clarity is there.
On top of that one, I just have some clarification.
Let's have Senator Chute, yes.
I want the PS to tell us, we have a CEO who is acting, and I want to know for how long has he been acting?
Before we get there,
Because
let's first of all, we will be engaging the CS on those issues. We are still talking about the oath. Vice Chair?
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I want to agree with the members very strongly that this issue is very sensitive and is threatening to, ban the country, as you know. And Chair, because of the magnitude of the interest of the public interest of this matter, I do agree with members that we should have the CS on oath.
Thank you very much, members. I hear you. I was just trying to see whether we are talking about the same oath. And owing to the fact that this issue has had a trust deficit, you know, we need Kenyans to see we are here as a serious entity, to get to know the information behind the deal. So permission granted. I think what you're going to do, clerk, prepare the CS to take the oath so that whatever he submits to this committee is the truth and nothing but the truth. So, Bwana CS, you need to say you're Christian or a Muslim so that we can give you either the Bible or the Quran. Then you can take the oath. You can take the oath before you give your submissions.
Chair, there are normally three, either Muslim, Christian, or Afam.
All right. Bwana CS. Just where you are, all you need is to stand.
Chair, on a point of order, will it, as Senator Sifuna has requested, will it be only the CS who will take the oath or anybody else who will testify?
When the CS takes the oath, he represents the whole department and the whole deal. So he's here with just the PS and the KAA as his supporting team.
I, Davis Kimutai Chirchir, do solemnly swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee in respect of the matters before the committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you very much. So we go back to the question I had asked earlier, whether there's any submission.
Chair, would it be in order if there is any evidence that the CS would have to table now?
That's what
so
I'm asking.
Okay.
Yes. Bwana CS, any evidence, document you'll be submitting to this committee?
Thank you, Chair. I didn't know that taking the oath was a very, it should be straightforward that I can just take the oath when it has been requested for. We spend so much time as to whether taking the oath to be able to confirm that I'll go and say the truth. It took a bit of time. I think it was straightforward that I come with a kind of oath and ready to take oath any time to be able to confirm that I will represent the true facts. Again, Chair, allow me to thank you for congratulating me, I think on behalf of the members, or you did it on your own behalf, because I didn't hear anybody else wish me well. But thank you, Chairman. I believe it was on behalf of all the members. The congratulations
yes,
I received.
Chairman, yes.
Thank you so much, and thank you, my classmate, for confirming that we were in college together. And so we appear before this House today with profound respect on the matters raised. We have not submitted any documents, Chair, and while preparing to submit the documents, I was advised by my technical team of some developments that would possibly wish to do some housekeeping and confirm first whether we can prosecute this matter while there is a court case that was served on us. One initial one, which is a bit historical, was served. It's High Court HRPT/E36-36624, Isaac Lanko Guyo versus Kenya Airports Authority and the National Treasury, application date 25th July 2024, court orders issued on 30th July. I do confirm that we did receive the letter from Senate on the 6th of August 2024. And just to mention that the matter is coming up for direction on this particular case on the 24th of September 2024. This morning, we've been served, or is it yesterday, with another High Court case, number E199/2024, LSK and Kenya National Human Rights Commission versus KIA and 5 others, application dated September 9th. Court orders have been issued, and it's coming up for mention on the 8th of October 2024. I'll just be seeking that we deal with that first, but Chair, let me just as a form of introduction confirm that yes, we have this request, and as soon as we confirm, we should be able to agree on the way forward. We did receive this request just to confirm as a form of introduction that yes, we have a privately initiated public procurement on a build, operate, and transfer with Adani. Privately initiated investment proposal by Adani Holdings to develop JKIA or Jomo Kenyatta International Airport on a build, operate, and transfer under the public-private partnership model, which is a form of procurement under the Public PPP Act. So as to the extent of procurement, it can be covered in that due process. But my humble request first would be to confirm whether this would be prejudice or we proceed having made those two initial disclosures as to developments that have happened as regarding this transaction. Thank you, Chair.
As I invite senators, and especially we do have lawyers in this, it's also good to bring to your attention that is Article 125 of the Constitution. Article 125(1) provides that either House of Parliament and any of its committees has power to summon any person to appear before it for the purpose of giving evidence or providing information. And that goes in line with our Parliamentary Powers and Privileges Act that reminds this committee has the powers of a high court. So before we make that determination, I would want to hear what the members have to say.
Chair,
Yes, Senator Sifuna.
if I might have the first bite, I'm very surprised the Cabinet Secretary will try to pull the sub judice rule. I saw you yesterday speaking on this matter. If you had a court order that is dating back to July, you should not have addressed yourself to the matters yesterday. CS. Number two, our standing orders under Standing Order 103 requires that before you pull that sub judice cut out of the bag, you must present evidence to us showing that that matter is actually in court. I observed when you walked in, I was very, very worried. You are not carrying any documents. So that we need to see what the pleadings in those cases are. It could have nothing to do with the matters that we want to discuss here today. Thirdly, because you brought up preliminary matters, I also want you to address yourself to a preliminary concern that I have personally. If a letter is dispatched from the Senate on the 6th of August 2024, pursuant to a request dated 25th July 2024, and you confirm that you've received it on the 6th of August 2024 at your ministry, how is it possible, Bwana CS, that even today when you walk in, you don't have any of the documents we have requested? I am sure, and I would be aware, if there was any court order stopping the ministry from providing the Senate as representative of the people with a copy of a privately initiated proposal, if there was such an order, I would surely be aware. Are you saying there's a court order stopping you as a ministry from providing the Senate or this committee with a copy of that PIPP? Because you can't speak to matters. We want to see it. And Honorable Chair, I had warned that at the Public Accounts Committee, where I'm a member, we are a bit unfriendly to people who show up to meetings without any documents. In fact, there is a requirement that these documents are presented to us aforehand so that we can go through them. We like to read documents. We don't request documents that we don't read. And a document, as a rule of law, speaks for itself for as long as you can read. Not like Governor Muthomi Njuki, who suddenly developed a sight impediment because he didn't want to read his own documents. We want to read documents. We don't want to be told stories, Bwana CS. So is there any reasonable explanation why 2 months later, as a senator of Nairobi, I still do not have this PIPP? Chair.
Let's deal with the issue of the court, and then we get into the details. Yes, Senator Onyonka.
Chair, thank you for giving me the opportunity, and CS, congratulations for your job and your coming to this committee. Chair, I just want to inform this House that this is a matter that is substantive, that is a matter that is weighty, it's a matter that is so complex that it doesn't need to be trivialized or dismissed for whatever reason. Number one, Chair, the sub judice rule can only be introduced if one of us brought that issue to the floor of the House. Otherwise, if it is the CS who's demanding that we make a ruling that there's going to be issues involving the complexities and the involvement and the hearings and the evidence that is being provided on this matter, which has not been interrogated Nothing stops this committee to demand that documents are provided for, so that then we can look at those documents, because the basic interpretations here is that these are the documents you will present to court. So there is no contradiction in that. The second issue that I wanted to mention, Chair, is referring to what my Secretary General.
Yes, Senator Chirchir.
Chair, in the principle of doctrine of separation of powers, and you can look at the decision of Justin Muturi, the Speaker Emeritus, on David Ocheng, Kenya Member of Parliament, when the coalition wanted to de-whip him, and somebody went to court. It was ruled in the spirit of Standing Order 103 on sub judice that there is no any arm of government that can direct the other. So in doctrine of participation of powers, judiciary nor parliament can direct the executive chair, and therefore the rule of sub judice is here neither there, chair, and to the CS. This, when you look at the threshold, there is no evidence, and you know, access to information, Mr. Chairman, is a right, and unless the CS can tell us the information is a classified information, is a secret information that meets the threshold of that aspect, Mr. Chair. And for example, one of the questions that the committee sought to know is about labor-related issues. The matter in court does not even touch on the issue of labor-related. So why would the CS want to run away from giving that responsibility, Bwana Waziri? So the sub judice rule does not apply. It is better even to share through the chair the information you have with Kenyans, so that we deal with chair. And while I congratulate you, since I'm not a member of transport, we expect you to do better than CS Murkomen. So you should start at the right footing. Don't start the way Murkomen used to mess all of us, Mr. Chair. Chair, I submit.
Chair, allow me.
Yeah, Vice Chair.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, as I submitted earlier while supporting members, this is a matter of great public interest. And Chair, there is precedence, you know, in Parliament on such matters. Chair, on the 10th of September 2009, Speaker Marende, while making a decision on whether to allow debate on the report of the National Assembly Committee on Delegated Legislation on the reappointment of the Director of KICC by the President. Chair, this is what he said, and I would quote, Chair, that in a matter, he said, I'm clear in my mind that in a matter of immense public interest, where there is doubt, unless sound grounds are advanced, a presumption such should exist in favor of allowing debate in the House, as opposed to the application of sub judice rule to suppress debate. Chair, again, he said, Speaker Marende now, on February 11th, said, on a matter, I do think that it will aid the House to know that in a matter such as this, a matter that has occupied newspaper headlines and editorials, extensive television coverage, and topical discussions in streets and in places of refreshments, it will be very odd indeed and hardly in keeping with the Constitution if some rule in our standing orders could be construed as making the National Assembly the only place where the matter could not be discussed. Chair, there is precedence in the House on where matters such as this of public interest can be discussed.
I think we should just roll on this so that we can go forward. But Senator Chute, 1 minute.
Yes, thank you very much, Chair. I think if we don't have any order stopping this session to sit, I think we need to continue this matter. But what I really don't understand is this. This statement from Senator Onyonka was of the 25th July. And then the CS is supposed to come before this committee on 15th August 2024. And today is 12th September 2024. At least we should have had a response by today. At least, you know, at a minimum. And I know our CS is efficient, he's doing his job very well, and I don't really understand why the order he's talking about is, he says it came yesterday. And my question is this: he had 60 days to submit some documents to this committee. Is he really interested? Does he even want to give a response? I'm really disturbed. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Senator. You have raised two very important issues that we need to deal with before we proceed. And one of the issues is whether we should continue discussing this issue, because the CS thinks we might be going against the law. And the other issue is whether we should also continue with these proceedings without any document from the CS. I wish to rule as follows.
Before you rule, Chair, I just wanted to make one further statement for just clarifying.
It's going to help in what I'm just about to say. Okay, 1 minute.
Chair, I just wanted to, before you rule, to come out very clear on the words I used, because it's been taken in the context that we do not want to prosecute. I was just basically, by way of guidance, seeking disclosure that there are two court cases, and to the extent that it is not sub judice, we proceed. So it was not like we do not wish to proceed. Chair, it's an issue of public interest, and yesterday while addressing the issue of the strike by the Kenya Aviation Union workers, I did say that now that we have a court case against the government, will really go before the court and use the court to really submit all the documents for purpose of disclosure of what's happening. It's in the interest of the government, the ministry, to do full disclosure. So
Point of order,
it was
Chair.
just by interest.
Point of order, Chair.
Just 1
Point
minute
of
for
order,
the CS to finish.
I would like to remind the CS, my comrade, we sit in this house because we have powers of the High Court. This is a court. I hope you understand that. And we summoned you, and there was a request by the chair and the clerk to ask you to provide us, particularly me, with these documents, which then will make me ask intelligible or reasonable questions about the issues we are talking about. We are not discussing about sanitization of the matter in court. What we are saying is this House has a responsibility to tell Kenyans exactly the questions I asked you.
All right, point of order. Can I expedite this issue
just
so
1
that
minute,
we can
Chair.
move on?
I wanted to know if the CS is trying to imply that if there's a request that comes from Parliament and another that comes, say, from the judiciary or the executive, you can choose which one to send documents to and which one you cannot. Is that what you're saying, CS, that we should all now follow you to court and pick those documents from there?
Members,
Chair,
I see Senator, before Bana CS, let's have Senator Lelegwe, and then I'm going to give a direction, because I don't want us to discuss the preliminaries.
Chair,
we have an important issue ahead of us.
I have, on a point of order, Chair, we as a committee, we are discussing an issue which we are not sure of. We're engaging on a rule of sub judice, where the cabinet secretary is telling the committee that he has a court order. That court order has not been tabled before this committee. So I don't know what we are discussing about and what you are ruling on.
Yes, let me give the direction. But yes, I think let's discuss the issues that has brought us here. So on the issue of the sub judice rule, I think we cannot use it to gag Parliament to discuss on any matter. So that is overruled, and what we are going to do, we are going to continue discussing the matters at hand. But there was also another issue, the issue of whether we should continue without any documents submitted by the department.
Point of order.
The issue was raised by, I'm giving a ruling, Senator Chute. The issue was raised by Senator Sifuna and Senator Onyonka, saying that probably, and they have been harsh in other committees, that they chase away those who come without the document. But I want to tell you, members, maybe that's what the department wants. Maybe that's what the department wants, for us to kick them away so that they can spend another 6 or so months before they come to this committee. So what I'm going to do, members, is that the CS has taken an oath of witness. So everything that he says, because we are on Hansard, we are on camera, it can be counter-checked on a later date. So we are going to continue with this session because it's a matter of national interest, a matter that should have been discussed yesterday. And also, Bwana CS, if you have any other document, because you see, yesterday we had one Mr. Atuoli says that he has the document. We are worried that you can give an individual this document, but not give it to the Senate, the people's representatives. So I think we should continue, and we will go in order of the questions as raised from the statement, one by one, so that the CS can affirm, confirm, or refuse, so that we get to understand what the matter is. Also to remind the CS, he is under oath, and every statement will be counter-checked later by the documents that will be submitted.
Point of order, Chair. I don't want to argue with your ruling, but at the very minimum, allow the ministry to explain, give a proper explanation as to why we don't have these documents. Do we have to behave the way the people in the airport behaved for us to get a document? The problem we are getting ourselves into, Chair, is that increasingly in this country, civility does not pay. That if you write a letter 3 months ago, they don't want to respond. We have, even for me as the Senator of Nairobi, do I have to come and undermine in front of the ministry? Then maybe I'll get a copy. And number 2, Chair, it is not as if we don't have these documents. It's not as if we don't have these documents, and this is why I'm seeing dishonesty on the part of the ministry. It's just that I don't want to be accused of getting this document from elsewhere, and then when I read things in here, he says, this is not our document. We have these documents. But it is the responsibility of the ministry to table under oath. And if there are challenges, like the excuses that we have had today are totally unacceptable. We can't be told, oh, the matter is in court, oh, we want to know what difficulty has the ministry had from the 6th of August when they received this letter to today. What is the challenge? Where's the challenge?
Yes, Chair. I support what Senator...
If I come to you, Bwana CS,
yes,
Senator.
I really support strongly what Senator Sifuna is saying. Let them explain to us why we don't have these documents up to today, now. It's almost now 2 o'clock. So let them explain, let them tell us the reason. Yes.
Bwana CS?
So do we need a helicopter to bring those documents?
Chair, I basically, you didn't allow me, Chair, to prosecute the guidance. I was basically seeking guidance, and now that you have ruled, and you'll recall the chronology I gave in my opening statement that there was an application dated 25th July 2024, and thereafter a court order issued on 30th of July. And the fact that the letter from Senate came to us, to the ministry, on 6th of August.
The National Treasury is under the National Treasury, but I believe you work closely together. So also compel him to appear with you tomorrow. And I believe we can't wait any longer. If we had actually dealt with this issue the time it was raised, the country will be at peace, you know. So, and you have rightly stated, Bwana CS, that this is an opportunity to talk to Kenyans and tell them whether the deal is there or the deal is not. And we're going to give you that opportunity tomorrow at 10 a.m. That is on Friday, 10 a.m. So that we appear at the same venue. We appear here. Yeah, 10 is good. So that you wake up early, Senator
Chair,
Chute, and
Chair,
go through the documents.
Chair, let me request for 9 o'clock because of Friday prayers, please, kindly. Tomorrow is Friday, we need to go to the mosque. Yes, 9 is fine.
Okay, okay, that one is granted. So 9 a.m., because you'll be having the documents in soft copy. So to appear here before the committee at 9 a.m. I think we are doing this for the good of the country. We are doing this to make sure that the country trusts the government and everyone concerned. So tomorrow, I also invite the members of the fourth estate to be here tomorrow, and anyone else, so that we can expedite this issue. I think we rest there for the moment.